Okay, this is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Cuckoo Katrina.
Wow.
And we've got Blue Jay Joel.
Okay.
Hey guys, what's up? Okay, I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, you did very well.
Thank you. All right, so we are back together.
Yes.
Like it's been a while.
It has.
Since all three of us have done an episode. So, well, when you look at our posts, The Shining wasn't that long ago, but it's been a while since we've actually been together doing one. And today we're doing a brand new one, Cuckoo. Cuckoo. Joel, can you tell us who is a part of it?
All right, who's in Cuckoo? So this one stars Hunter Schafer. She was in Euphoria for 18 episodes. Another Euphoria actor coming into the horror genre.
Yep.
The Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the most recent Hunger Games movie.
Okay.
And Kinds of Kindness, which also came out this year.
I want to see that.
Yeah,
I heard about that one.
Yeah, I have too. I haven't really heard much about it, but I've heard of it. And then Palette, which is an upcoming horror thriller, which doesn't say when it's coming out. So maybe this year, maybe next year. I'm not sure, but it's another horror movie. So
Okay.
And then we got Dan Stevens. He was in 25 episodes of Downton Abbey. Most recently, he was in Abigail.
Mm-hmm.
And also Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, which also came out this year. And The Ritual, which is another upcoming horror movie. So that one does have a release date, I think, of March of next year. So
do you know if that's a remake of the movie that's on Netflix?
Yeah. I don't know if it is or not. I'm not sure. Because
I know that's a foreign film, Ritual. So
yeah. And then we have Martin Silkas, who's the dad. And he was in Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
All right.
Always a great one. The Equalizer, The Bourne Supremacy, and House of Spoils, which is another upcoming horror movie that is coming out, I think, in October of this year. So,
okay.
And this was written and directed by Tillman Singer. And Tillman wrote and directed Luz, L-U-Z, El Fin del Mundo, which is a short, and The Events at Mr. Yamamoto's Alpine Residence, which is also a short. So
okay.
So yeah, that's it for that guy.
I wonder if the events are similar to the events in this movie.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So he wrote and directed all those?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got a 17-year-old girl, and she's forced to move with her family to a resort where things are not what they seem.
Oh, man. Like The Shining. We just covered this.
All right. So this movie has been out for a few days. So I'm curious to hear what people have been saying and how many reviews we've actually had so far, since it's pretty new. I know it premiered like a while back.
A year ago.
So
we might
have a decent amount of people.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so let us know.
I like festivals and stuff, not like
It seemed like a movie that could be in a festival for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are 123 reviews, so not too bad for a new movie
for the tomato meter.
Yeah, for the tomato meter.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And it got a 78%.
Okay.
Pretty fresh.
Yeah.
And then the audience score, 100 plus verified ratings. So not very many for audience. And it's at a 63%.
Okay.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
Definitely a critic.
Critic, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Still fresh though. 63,
yeah.
still fresh.
Yeah. Still
But-
fresh. IMDb actually matches pretty perfectly. Where it's at 6.3.
Wow.
And it has IMDb has 2,081 reviews.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, but then you look at it's been fun kind of seeing the Google one.
Mhm.
Google has it at a 2.9. So
These are out of 5.
out of 5.
Yeah.
So it's very mixed.
So that's like a 58.
Yeah, I guess I'm not good at that kind of math in my head right away.
Well, I mean, it's
But-
like a 2.5 is, a 50,
50.
basically.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like if it was what'd you say it was?
It's 2.9.
2.9, which is closer to
Almost
a 3.
a 3.
Yeah.
So
So it's a 58 exactly.
Yeah.
Jeez, Danny.
Okay.
Mr. Wiz over here. He's like, yeah, I already knew that.
It's all right, guys. I mean, 29 times 2.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, now we know how to figure that out on the fly.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, the point is it's got some mixed reviews. You've got a good amount of 1s and a good amount of 5s, and you've got everywhere in between on this one. It's not all 1s or all 5, or like it's not all 1s and 5s.
Yeah.
It's got some in betweens.
Yeah.
So a little bit of variation. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear what we all have to say.
I am too. So before we get into it, make sure you are liking and subscribing and commenting and all that stuff.
Yes, all that jazz.
If you're on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe, comment, let us know what you thought of this movie. And if you're on podcast platforms, you can also subscribe there. And if you are not, then join Patreon. That's where you will get to join us for spoiler talk for all of our episodes. And this one definitely has quite the spoilers to discuss.
Yeah.
So if you've seen it, this might be a fun one to join in on the spoiler talk.
Yeah.
And send us. You can comment on Patreon videos, so you can send a comment about what you thought about the spoiler stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like our non-spoiler is going to be kind of short for this one because you can't we don't want to spoil too much. The description did really good at not spoiling anything. The trailer, while I don't remember seeing too much of a trailer, I don't believe it was spoiled in this.
From what I heard, the second trailer did spoil some scares, but I didn't watch it. I didn't watch that trailer.
So we're going to try to stay very clear of spoilers.
Yep. Yeah. All right, cool. So let's get into it. So Joel, let's start with you. What'd you think?
So I thought that I liked the idea of the movie was interesting. Very for what we're going for. The acting was good. I enjoyed the acting in this movie. There were some parts that kind of lost me a little bit. Go into it in the spoiler section. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's not my favorite movie of the year. It's, I don't know. It's the sound was really good. The sound design and everything for this movie. And it's like it had all the mixings of a really good, really creepy movie, but there was just something about it that just didn't. It kind of missed for me. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to really say right now because a lot of the movie is spoilers, and so I don't want to give too much away for it. But yeah, I mean,
So you're kind of
The,
like lukewarm on it.
I'm
like,
lukewarm on it. Yeah. I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was, by far not the worst movie of the year.
Yeah.
that we've seen. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like I said, the acting was really good. Dan Stevens did a really good job in his creepy part. And that's not spoilers. He's creepy in the trailer. So
Yeah.
And Hunter did a really good job, I thought, as well too. So yeah, I mean, there isn't a whole lot to really say on this in the spoiler free section. Just that it did have a few scares in there. But otherwise it really wasn't like a scary movie. It really like it had its moments, but it was like more of like a drama, I would say, than a full on horror movie. But
yeah, I would say there was a few parts,
sci-fi also, but
yeah, there were a few parts that definitely had some good scares, but I felt like those parts were good until you learned more. Then it wasn't as scary anymore to me. And when you got to see more, then it was like, okay, that's not a scary thing, it was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the mystery and like kind of the suspense and the like what is happening was kind of the best part of the movie, I think. But then when you learn what's happening, it's interesting, but not necessarily that exciting to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm kind of with you, Joel. I think I might have enjoyed it more than you did. But I get it because I was kind of lost coming out of the theater. I'm like, what was that about? I knew the basics of it, and I knew kind of, I could kind of explain it, but there were some things where I'm like, hold on, like that confused me. And there's a lot of open questions and a lot of stuff to kind of, unpack if they wanted to, go forward with the story. Because there's definitely a few questions that I have, but yeah, I thought it was okay, a little better than okay. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think I liked it better than both of you. I did not come out of it feeling confused or unanswered. I came out of it like, wow, okay. I thought it was a weird one. I thought it was a cool movie. I definitely a movie I want to see again and probably multiple times because there was a lot to it. While I agree that the I could see where you say like the sound was good, like
there's definitely some sounds that
but
sometimes some lack of sounds, which I like too.
That was the thing. Okay, so but sometimes that it was hard for me to understand all the dialogue.
Is that the accent?
And I'm not quite sure. I feel like it was more so muffled almost in the way the talking was, and it could have just, I don't know, it could have been me. It was like I wanted that part turned up. Like it was one of those movies that I was like, I wish we were at home and I could rewind and hear what he said.
Yeah.
I want to turn it up when he's talking, or
I did have some difficulty keeping up with what he was saying. But for me, I think it's the accent. I have a hard time with accents.
Yeah, and I usually don't. Yeah. So that's where I'm like, I don't know if that's what it was. But maybe it was. Yeah. But I just felt like it was hard for me to hear. Like make out his words.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I almost feel like he just spoke very muffled.
Is it German? Is it German
Yeah.
accent? I think?
Yeah, it's
I don't think
German.
he's German. Dan Stevens? I think
No.
he's just American,
Yeah.
right?
He's
Okay.
working with a German accent.
Yeah.
So maybe it was his attempt at a German accent
Yeah.
came across as muffled. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was difficult for me to make out some of the things, and some of the things that I felt like, okay, that would have been important to understand better.
Mhm.
And I think that it
Yeah.
was hard to understand, but also some of the parts that it was like I really wanted to be able to hear and understand that was kind of rushed through.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, this is where I would like you to have taken a little bit of extra time.
Yeah.
And then you took extra
Mhm.
time in other areas that I don't know that it was necessary to take that.
Yeah.
extra
I
time.
needed some more explanation. A
And-
little bit more in the actual thing that's happening. Like I
Yeah.
felt like I needed a little bit more meat on that.
Yeah, and there might have even been enough explanation if they had kind of slowed it down a little bit
Mm-hmm.
and let us kind of take it in instead of rushing through that part. I feel like there was certain dialogue that was rushed through, like he said, very quick, and then it was with passing.
Yeah.
And so it was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
catch this, you know?
I was thinking in the theater, I was like, okay, well, this is where we're about to find out what's going on with the story here. And then all of a sudden it was like over. I'm, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think I get it, but it's just like,
Can you repeat that?
Can
I
you
ask you
say
some
it
questions?
like again and not say like you're in a hurry to get somewhere? Like,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So I think that would be like my negative on it.
Absolutely.
And at the same time, I still was able to keep up enough that I did understand.
Mhm.
I was able to piece things together. I like when movies kind of give you information, leave you hanging, and then start answering certain things throughout.
Mhm.
And so I felt like this movie did a good job with that kind of
Yeah, it was like
structure,
piece by piece.
Yeah.
I think this will probably be one of those movies that's better on a second watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I look back on some of the scenes that were like, okay, what is this? What's happening? And then I look at what we learn, and then I'm like, okay, I kind of want to watch that scene again.
Yeah.
To kind of with knowing what I know now.
Yeah. And it's one of those movies that now that we know the spoiler, that we know the information, it doesn't ruin the next watch. It just makes the next watch like, oh, I'm going to pay attention to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's some movies that it's like once you get that twist, then it's like, okay, this might not be as fun to watch again because we already know the big twist.
Well, because honestly, I don't think the twist is that great in this movie. Like,
well, I don't know that it's a
something
twist. Like that, it's like
yeah,
it's not really
a twist as much as a
just a
discovery.
Discovery.
Figuring out what's going on.
Yeah, a mystery or whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't like you thought this and then it was actually this.
Yeah. And so I think that's why it's rewatchable.
You didn't know what to expect.
Yeah. So having said that, I don't know that I care that much to rewatch it.
I definitely do. I definitely
I will rewatch it.
We will.
I don't know that I would go out of my way to watch it like on my own.
Yeah.
It's good. Like it's a good, well-made movie. It's definitely got the uniqueness to it. Definitely has some elements of interest that's like you kind of want to learn what's happening, and and it was way more out there with its story and plot than I was expecting. But that's fine. I mean, at least it's original,
It's Cuckoo.
definitely give it originality. points.
And in the days of remakes and sequels and requels, originality needs to be praised a lot more.
Yeah, that is true.
And so, but sometimes originality can, I don't know,
be too much.
Cannot be great too at the same time.
Yeah, and go ahead, Joel. Keep going.
Oh no, I was pretty much done.
Well, I was thinking like part of why I feel like it did feel kind of like a film festival type movie is one, it was more of like a kind of critic type movie, you know, like artistic and
croissant.
Okay. Where did that come
That's
from?
a shout out to We Watch a Movie.
Oh, okay. I don't. Obviously.
That's what Mike calls like the artsy movies.
Oh,
if it's too much, he calls it too croissant.
Okay.
So funny. Anyways.
Anyway.
So I'm gonna steal that now.
Yeah, apparently. You better talk to him about that. So but I think part of that also is it did, like I said earlier, like where it focused on some areas that weren't necessary and didn't focus on areas that were necessary. I feel like the structure was a little
a little off balance.
I don't want to say like amateur or anything, but like it was just could use some improvement.
I agree. The organization of it could have been better. They could have spent more time on things and less time on other things for sure. Yeah.
While I did think that it was creative, definitely original, and I think that that's something that is really great about film festivals is you do get a lot of creative original stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
And so that's where I think that's where this one raises its grade up.
Yeah. Okay.
I will say it's one that I do want to watch again, but it's not one that's been like on my mind. Mm-hmm. You know, even today I was like, okay, Cuckoo. Oh, okay. You know, like it's
I just saw it like a couple days ago.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay. It's not one that has like sometimes when you watch a movie and you're like, I want to see that again, and it like is on your mind. Like you dream about it and you're like thinking about it and you're like, oh, I can't wait to see that again.
Yeah.
This one, it's like right after I was like, okay, I want to see that again.
Yeah.
But more so because I'm like, I want to figure this out. And like, yeah.
By the time you watch it again, maybe you'll just have forgotten everything that you watched. So it'll be like a first time again for you.
Probably.
And then we'll just have to watch it again and again and again.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into grades. I'll go first this time. I'm gonna give it an 82.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think we'd be very close, but I was gonna give it an 87.
Okay.
So we're kind of
not very close. It's still you're
it's like 5%. That's like pretty close
to like the A range thing.
Yeah, but when we walked out of the theater, I really thought we were going to be pretty far apart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The more I think about it, the more it's a better movie than when I first left the theater. Yeah.
Well, even by the time we got home, I feel like you appreciated it better because we had a deep discussion driving home about it.
I'm not supposed to talk about the movies till we do the.
I know, but we went with our kids, and it was funny because one of them left the movie like best movie of the year.
Yeah,
and then the other one was like, that was horrible.
That was boring.
Why did I even come?
And they both understood what was happening. Too.
Yeah.
But we did all kind of have. We did all kind of have questions though about like
there
was some stuff that was like, no, that's this character, or no,
Yeah.
like that didn't happen to this character.
Yeah.
So there was some
we
of that.
understood it differently.
Yeah.
Each of us understood it in a different way.
Yeah, for sure.
Four
Okay,
different
so you
Joel.
said
stages of
87, I got
understanding.
82. What do you got, Joel?
I was thinking between 79 and 80. I think I'm going to give it an 80.
Okay.
It's not C. It's not like a C, made movie or anything. There's just some stuff about it that I just didn't care for, and like I said, like I lost interest up to a certain point, but that certain point was like towards the end of the movie. So,
Okay.
which we will talk about. But so yeah, I mean, it was a very well made movie, and I think on a second viewing, it might go up a little bit. So who knows?
All right.
Cool. All right. Well, again, if you're not a Patreon member, make sure to go sign up. Patreon.com/Scare Talk. You get 7 days free over there, and you can hang out with us to talk about spoilers. And before, we'll have this posted before our live. We're going to be live with Sledgehammer Horror Wednesday evening, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. And we're going to be talking about unintentional funny moments in horror movies. So make sure to go and, find their YouTube channel and join us, and, we'll see your comments and stuff. So that should be pretty fun. All right, but that's it for this section. So go to Patreon if you want to talk with spoilers.
This has been so scary.
Let's get scary.
Oh, let's go. Let's actually get scary.
All right.
Maybe this
See you
has
guys.
been very scary.